Hi, I'm Rabbi Daniel Lappin. Thank you so much for sending in your fantastic questions to my website. And from those questions for today, I've selected this one. I just found out that my father was having an affair. The identity of the woman at the time was unknown to me, although I did suspect that it was my aunt. I did not want to harm my mother emotionally with this information. But after much thought, I did disclose my findings to her. However, I did not tell her I suspected the woman was her own sister. My mother had her doubts about the whole thing, and I know that she was in denial in order to protect herself from the hurt. Today, my sister and I, after some further investigation, found out that the woman is indeed my mother's own sister. I am in real anguish and I'm in torment because of these findings and do not know what to do. This goes against every teaching we were brought up with. I'm disappointed and I feel pain and sorrow. Should we keep this secret to ourselves or should we tell my mother? I thought about speaking to my dad about it, but he gets aggressive and tells me to stay out of his marriage because he doesn't involve himself in mine. Please help. And this is from Kayla. Kayla, you and your sister are undoubtedly feeling incredible pain. And even though you are grown adults, the fact that there has been this betrayal in your parents' marriage causes deep anguish. I really do understand that. You know, when our children were small, they were fairly young, our neighbor, the neighboring family went through a divorce. It was the first instance our children had ever encountered that, and they were profoundly impacted. They were friends with the little boy and the little girl whose parents were getting divorced, and it really had an enormous impact on our children. Around about that time, I took the children, as I did very regularly, to a local boat show. One of the things we used to do. And for one reason or another, my wife Susan wasn't able to come along on that outing, so I took the children themselves and me, we went off to this boat show. Well, a day or two later, we discovered our children were having deep family meetings. The children were all having these secret meetings. And eventually it came out that the meeting was to discuss a matter of great concern. They had noticed that, well, let me just explain. At boat shows, they have a lot of boats. And one of the things they also do to convey a sort of feeling of a boat vacation atmosphere, to encourage people to look at the boats and to buy the boats, is they have attractive young women in bathing suits. Well, this family meeting our children had was because they noticed that I was looking at one of the young women in a bathing suit. It was a red bathing suit they were at pains to recall. Well, I must tell you, we eventually had this whole family discussion. It was as much as Susan and I could do to keep a straight face, but we knew we had to treat it seriously. And we used it as an opportunity to explain the nature of men. And yes, God created us to find women attractive. He created us to find women in bathing suits irresistible. But the fact is, he also gave us instructions and commandments about how to run our marriages. And we used that opportunity to teach our children that the Bible is uncompromising about children staying out of their parents' marriage, indeed having nothing to do with their parents' marriage. I wish you would have asked me before you spoke to your mother in the first case, and you saw that she didn't welcome your disclosure. In fact, you feel she resisted it. I wish you did. I would have told you then to say absolutely nothing to her, as painful as this is. And it is painful. And maybe you and your sister could both use somebody to talk to, maybe somebody outside the family, maybe even somebody professional, maybe at your church. You could just discuss this with somebody to help you work through the pain and the anguish you're feeling. We get that. But in terms of conversation with your parents about this, please do not talk to your aunt. Don't talk to your mother. Don't talk to your father. This truly is important that you follow the Bible ruling of staying out of your parents' marriages. The biblical commandment is to honor your father and your mother, and there is very little in terms of behavior that your father or your mother could do that abrogates that commandment. As amazing as it sounds, your obligation to honor your father and your mother stays all the time. And so to talk to your mother about your father, simply not on. I'm Rabbi Daniel Lappin. Thanks for watching, and I wish you good times when it comes to your family, your faith, your finances, and your friendships.